Hello again. It's been a while since I've done a video, so you probably noticed the change in the YouTube channel's name. Uh, Oratory of Saint Nicholas. I just thought it was better reflected my chapel. Saint Nicholas has meaning to me, special meaning. Uh, it's just obviously it's associated with Santa Claus, but there was a actual Saint Nick. There's plenty of information online about him. He was present in the Council of Nicaea in 325 AD. There's a lot of things, true or untrue, that are said about him online. It's hard to, you have to make your own mind up on what's true. Some say that he punched a guy out at the council. Whether that's true, I don't know, but that's not why I chose him. But anyway, I've got these little cards in the mail that have the church name, Oratory of St. Nicholas, and a nice little design there. It's got my contact information on it. On the back, it says some services that we provide: Holy Eucharist, funerals, weddings, house blessings, baptisms, and more. And it's got the charism symbol of the church that I joined, the Holy Celtic Church International, and here's that. And it's got some very small writing on it. Hopefully people can see it. I have a hard time seeing it myself. And that's also the chalice well cover design, the Vesica Pisces in Glastonbury. So I like these cards. Besides the tiny writing, they're nice. And so I've written a little homily today that I wanted to read for you. I hope it's coherent and makes sense. So I'll begin. In our tradition, the Mass is said on each Sunday and always has a particular holiday associated with it, either directly or indirectly. For example, Advent Sunday, Sundays in Lent, Sundays after Lent, Easter Sunday, Trinity Sunday, Sundays after Trinity, etc. These days are usually accompanied by a keynote or intent. The collect, the readings, and the gospel and epistle for the day all share that same intent or reflect that same intent. Now, the homily, usually said after the readings, is like a sermon, but much shorter, and also reflect the readings and the keynotes of that particular occasion. Now, today's, which will actually be tomorrow, today is Saturday, but by tomorrow this video should be uploaded. So today's keynote is control of speech. Now, this very topic is, over the last few years, has been on the minds of not only our nation, but the entire world. Words such as hate speech and misinformation has triggered strong responses on both sides of the political spectrum. I have said it before that to legislate free speech is an affront to free will. You can't force someone to be a moral and decent human being, any more than God can force us to love him. Sure, they can act, and they will act as such, but out of fear, not love. The Gospel and Epistle readings for today also stress what one should not say. So for now, we will try to move beyond that aspect of control of speech. Now, I'd like to think about things we ought to say and why. Many people adopt the philosophy that if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all, which is fair enough, but one might end up not speaking out of fear of saying the wrong thing or fear of offending someone. And this does not make the world a better place. At best, it keeps it the same. Now, before I move on from here to the rest of the homily, I want to give some context by reading a page from Father John Plummer's book, Living Mysteries. I've had this book for several years. I don't know if it's a small book, but I haven't read the whole thing all the way through yet, which is pretty much sums up a lot of the books I have in my bookshelf. It's called Living Mysteries, a practical handbook for the independent priest. It's only barely a page that I'm going to read, so bear with me. Every human being is already a priest, in a very primal sense. We stand between earth and sky, like pillars in an ever-moving temple. We find ourselves within and among other humans and many other orders of beings, stones, plants, animals, elementals, angels, etc., with energies flowing back and forth continuously and not. Those of us who are parents mediate the entry of another being into fleshly existence. For this reason, Mary might be considered the first Christian priest, as the one who literally birthed Jesus. Our outer personalities mediate the sacred presence at the core of our being, more or less well. We are all points in an extraordinary complex web through which divine powers move. That power, the energy of the Holy Spirit, is much greater than us and not particularly concerned about whether we understand how it is working at any given moment. Some forms of Protestant Christianity have given us the notion of being our own priest. While this idea that I am my own priest, needing no other, certainly does appear in Reformation thought, there is another, less known and more profound perspective. At times we find the teaching that you are my priest and I am your priest, each person mediating to others and receiving in turn. In our ecological age with a heightened sense of interdependence of life, we are well suited to deepen our sense of connection and our awareness of the spiritual energies which flow among us. We are all, in Lloyd Meeker's happy words, extensions of divine action to one another. Or as Ciencia Fleury put it, what is priesthood but walking around reflecting God back and forth to one another? So let us think about that. The priesthood being walking around reflecting God back and forth with one another. We are all priests or potential priests, in a sense. This is echoed in 1 Peter 2:9, chapter 2, verse 9, where all Christians are called to a priestly role. So what it is saying, I think, is that I am a potential priest to you, and you are a potential priest to me, and so on. How do we reflect God back and forth to one another? By what we do and by what we say. If we speak from our hearts, we will say the right thing. If you'd like, you can say that it's the Holy Spirit that's guiding you, if you're so inclined. A kind word spoken, this is for an example here, a kind word spoken to a person bagging your groceries who looks like they want to be anywhere but there and doing anything but that can make all the difference. You don't need to psychoanalyze them or counsel them. Sometimes just a few words is all it takes. Try to put yourself in their shoes. And we have all been in that situation, doing things that we don't want to do, being in places that we don't want to be. You find the right words to say. Your words may even trigger a chain of positive events if they decide to pay it forward. You never know. If it works, you have truly been a priest to that person and made a difference in the world, no matter how small. And that's it. It's a simple message. It took a long time to say a very simple message, but I think another example is if you have a child and you you you're so worried that you keep them inside, you don't let them go out and play. Um, Surely you're going to keep them safe, and they're not exercising any free will. They're not they're not exercising themselves and making mistakes and learning. I think it's the same thing with speech. You learn the right word. They'll learn how to navigate the outside world. You'll learn how to say the right things. But if you're censored and you don't get that opportunity, you'll never learn and you'll never become um, a decent moral person if you're forced into that. So with that, I will I will leave it, and I hope everybody's enjoying their season of Lent and getting closer to God and all that goes with it. God bless you and enjoy your weekend.